Hey everyone, it's me. Don't you recognize me? It's me, your best friend, Brad. How could you forget me? What about all the memories we shared? The lives we changed, the adventures we went on. How could you forget your best friend, Brad? I'm hurt. What happened to us? What happened to you? A year ago to this day, actually, I made a video about some lost and cancelled video games that I thought were particularly interesting. And since I'm still recovering from that Realmus video I did last month, I thought this would be a really great, low-key kind of video to make. So, that's the plan today. More interesting lost and cancelled video games. A quick note before we begin, I really went out of my way to try and find new and compelling titles that aren't as often talked about in these kinds of videos. So hopefully today I can introduce you to some new ones that you may actually enjoy. As well, this was unintentionally a console-exclusive lost and cancelled video games list, mostly because that's just what I was looking into, and the PC market is so vast and expansive that there's a ginormous list of PC lost and cancelled games. So maybe at some other point I'll do another video like this talking exclusively about PC games, but until then, let's begin. Mina and Wonderland was a minigame collection title for the Sega Genesis by Micronet, which is known better for publishing Flicky, a platforming game based on the bird characters seen in the Sonic the Hedgehog games. There's really not a lot known about the game as it stands, but a handful of Twitter users have shared promotional material and screenshots of the game for us to see. According to these screenshots, there's a hub world that resembles a Final Fantasy-esque overworld, which the player could go to different buildings and areas to play various minigames. One article a Japanese Twitter user, Hisabili, shared mentioned a chicken race minigame, which can be seen in one of the article scans. According to Unseen64, there was supposedly a story mode available, following the travels of Mina and her furry little animal companion, with a screenshot showing Mina, the furry companion, and an unknown third character trying to start a fire next to another panel of Mina with an ice cream cone. In September 2014, a prototype board was available on a Japanese Yahoo auction, though it's unclear who won it or for how much it went for. This does have promise that someone, someday, could get a hold of it and dump the ROM online, though that hasn't happened yet. The interactive Rocky Horror Show is a point-and-click adventure title in the same vein as Day of the Tentacle and King's Quest, based off the Rocky Horror Show musical franchise. Playing as either Brad or Janet, the player is tasked with saving their partner who had been turned to stone by Dr. Frankenfurter's Medusa transducer machine from the castle, and they must do it within 30 minutes, lest the castle be turned into a rocket ship and sent off to the planet Transsexual Transylvania. Yeah, Rocky Horror is just kind of like that. The interactive Rocky Horror Show initially started development by Online Entertainment and Transylvania Interactive as a title for the Atari Jaguar CD expansion. However, due to a series of fuck-ups by Atari and their new game studio branch Atari Interactive, who were acting as the publishers, the Rocky Interactive Horror Show never released for the Jaguar CD. In December 1995, they announced their plans to release the title for PC instead by Online Entertainment themselves, which they did in 1998. There were also plans to release the interactive Rocky Horror Show on the PlayStation, however, those plans fell through for an unknown reason. All that exists now for the interactive Rocky Horror Show on the Atari Jaguar is a homebrewed compilation CD for the PC of 3 rare Jaguar PC CDs, published by Atari forum user jsmith2000, who created these compilations for dedicated fans of the Atari Jaguar. I found a listing on eBay for all 4 of the Jaguar Extremist packs for $500. Hopefully someone can obtain this and publish everything for easy access online. I've also found an apparent prototype available on hiddenpalace.com, though I'm not experienced enough to figure out how it works. In 2007, Mumbo Jumbo, a small game studio known for the Luxor series, bought the licensing rights from NBC to create a commercial tie-in video game for their hit mockumentary sitcom, The Office. Actually, I made an entire video about this game already, and I highly recommend checking it out if you're so inclined. Anyways, The Office was speculated to also be released on all 7th generation game consoles, including the DS and PlayStation Portable. However, this never happened, and it's said the reason was because the game was deemed too simple to put on home consoles. Interestingly though, an online version was available from MSNZone.com, which was Microsoft's attempt to expand into the internet casual games genre. There's no known prototypes or demos or anything for a version of The Office for consoles as of now though, and I don't think there ever will be. The Seventh Guest is an iconic 1993 point-and-click adventure title that, alongside Myst, was considered a killer app that popularized the CD-ROM to be used for PC games over the much smaller and costlier floppy disk. Due to its immediate popularity, there were almost immediate discussions for porting it to consoles, though unlike Myst, the Seventh Guest only ever had 2 console ports, one for the Philips CDI in 1993, and an enhanced anniversary remaster for the Nintendo Switch in 2023. It was also released on iOS, macOS, and Android over the years. There was also a planned port for the Super Nintendo CD add-on. According to SNES Central, it was heavily alluded to in an April 1992 issue of Nintendo Power, where the magazine had an article discussing Nintendo's partnership with Philips to create a CD-ROM add-on, with one of the featured games being called Guest, speculated to be the internal development name of The Seventh Guest. According to René Boutin, an ex-employee of Virgin Interactive, a functional demo cart for The Seventh Guest does exist, so it's possible that it's somewhere within Trilobyte's archives, Virgin Interactive's archives, or in the hands of a collector or ex-employee of one of the companies. As of now, The Seventh Guest recently had a ground-up remake announced for MetaQuest, Windows PC VR, and PlayStation VR 2, and I'm very excited about that. The Famicom Network system, also known as the Famicom modem, was Nintendo's first attempt at an online service. It would also be known as their last good attempt at an online service. It released exclusively in Japan in 1988 and had some interesting services available. Notably, stock trading, horse betting, and game reviews were distributed through these long, thin cards called communication cartridges. Despite this add-on not being made to have games played with it, there were reportedly 4 games developed for the accessory. The first and only known game available with evidence was an online version of Go, a Chinese variant of checkers, from what I know. Another game that is speculated to be a part of this collection of games was Konami's Sushin Shogoi Club, which is essentially Japanese chess developed by Konami. Unfortunately, due to them being online services, it would be incredibly hard to obtain and dump the ROMs for these online, made even more challenging due to the Japanese exclusivity. Before the Famicom Network got disbanded in 2001, there were discussions between Nintendo of America and AT&T to create an American version of the console add-on and network, though this never went through, possibly due to how unpopular the system was in Japan. Quantic Dream is a French game studio known these days for their interactive storytelling video games, most notably Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain, and Detroit Become Human. However, before these titles, Quantic Dream had dabbled a little bit with creating other kinds of games, including a beat-em-up called Blast, or Blast, I'm really not sure about how you pronounce that, for the original Xbox. There exists very little information about this game, though we do know, thanks to an ex-designer of the game, that it was supposed to have a sci-fi/fantasy setting inspired by Lovecraft's tales and the Matrix movies. It's generally accepted that Blast was cancelled for unknown reasons, but it can be inferred from an interview with David Cage that it might have been cancelled to put more focus into their larger projects that were already greenlit by publishers. We usually start several projects at the same time. Over the last years, one of them gets so much interest from the publishers that we had to cancel or at least postpone the others. Each Quantic Dreams project requires up to 80 people and all of our attention. It is difficult to start several original projects with the same ambition in a matter of quality. As of now, only 2 images of Be Last are available online, from a Quantic Dream fan blog called omikrongame.blogspot.com. And that's about it. Shorter video, and I apologize as I've been making a lot longer content recently, but I just needed to take a little bit of a break from the long form videos as they're very mentally taxing and creatively taxing on me. But we got some really interesting topics here in this video. Some lost media, some cancelled media, stuff that I'd personally like to see found, like that Rocky interactive horror show demo file. That would be nice to check out. Same with the Mina and Wonderland prototype. That'd be cool. Thanks for watching. You can find all my socials in the links below, and thanks for watching. Thanks for the support recently. I really appreciate it. Toodaloo.